Hey guys, so today I'm doing a save or splurge video, and I have been wanting to do this for a while because I think there's a lot of things that people tend to go high-end on that aren't really worth it. You can find things just as good in a drugstore, but I also think there are things that are worth the splurge. So I'm going to go through it, and just so you know, every single product that I'm featuring in this video, I like both of them. I'm going to show you a high-end and a drugstore version of each thing that I talk about, but I want you to know that I love both the high-end and the drugstore version of all of these things. I'm just going to put it out there right away, so don't think that just because I'm picking, you know, the high-end or the drugstore that I dislike the other one. The only way that you would know that I dislike it is if I tell you specifically, but I think with all of these cases, I really like both products. So it's not about which one is better, it's just about, you know, you can save money or maybe it's worth spending the extra money. So I think I'm just going to do my best to go through like in an order that you would do your makeup in. So we're going to start off with brushes. So I have a few different brushes here. I have an e.l.f. brush, which is obviously drugstore, and then this brush, which I'm not even sure what brand it is, but it is drugstore. It doesn't have any name or brand on it, but I've had it for a very long time and I really like it. And then I have two of my Real Techniques brushes, so sort of like a blush brush and a buffer brush. So for this, I'm going to say that you can really go either way. Start off with drugstore brushes. It depends on what brand. I really don't like, I think it's called Eco Tools. That's a drugstore brand. I've tried a few of their brushes and I really don't like them. But you can like go on Amazon. I went on Amazon a few years ago, maybe like 2-3 years ago, and I got this giant roll of brushes. It had to be like 25 brushes, 25, for like a very low amount of money, and I've used them for a very long time. Some are better than others, but they were a great way to start off with getting like a huge amount of brushes to figure out like what you really need, and then you can start upgrading. I just recently got my Real Techniques brushes and I'm in love with them. I think it's totally worth the money, and these are super inexpensive too. It's not even like you really have to splurge. It's like most brushes range from somewhere between $8 to $12, I believe. 12 might be the highest, 12, 15. I don't think anything is 15 actually. And then you can buy like brush rolls like with a set for only a little bit of money. So these are really not even that much of a splurge, but you know, this brush is one of my favorites. It's by e.l.f. and it's their powder brush, and I got it for like a few dollars. So you can decide for yourself. I would start off with drugstore and then you can upgrade, or you can just go right for something like the Real Techniques brushes. Totally up to you. Next up, we have primer. So here I have the Flower In Your Prime Perfecting Primer, and here I have the Benefit That Gal Brightening Face Primer. For this, I'm going to have to go with Splurge. I think that this one works way better than this Flower one. I'm not crazy about this Flower product. It's okay, and I use it sort of when it doesn't really matter how long my makeup lasts. Like if I'm just running out for a few hours, you know, whatever the deal is, if I'm not going anywhere where I really care about my makeup lasting, then I tend to use this one. I tend to save this for times when I really need my makeup to last. But I think this is just superior in general to this primer. This is the only drugstore primer I've tried, so I mean you can come up with your own answer to that, but I think that this is really worth splurging on. So next is foundation. I have these two foundations. This one is the Revlon Color Stay for normal to dry skin, and this one is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation, and both of them have SPF 15, so they're sort of comparable besides the color of them is pretty different, but I think for both of these lines, these are the lightest colors that they come in. So once again for this one, I know it sounds like I'm saying this a lot, but I swear it'll get switched up. I'm going to have to go with Splurge. I always think it's worth it to splurge on foundations. I have friends who swear by this Revlon one, but I just hate it. I have found drugstore foundations that I really like, but unfortunately I don't have any of them because I've obviously used them up. I just think it's completely worth it to splurge. You're going to get, you know, more of a bang for your buck. It usually lasts me a very long time because I have to use less product rather than something like this where I really have to build it up. This just goes on exactly how I want it. You can sheer it down. I like to go for full coverage foundations because it's easier to sheer down than to build up, I find. So this one's great because it's very full coverage, but I can also sheer it down by adding a little bit of moisturizer, just applying a very little bit. So it works for all situations, and I'm going to have to go with Splurge. Next we have concealer. The two that I have here are the Hard Candy Glamoflage Concealer, and this one is the Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer. So I think both of these are amazing products, and I would go either way. I think they're great for different things. The Glamoflage, I think, probably has more coverage and has a great range of colors, but I think the Kat Von D is so much better for under eye circles. I use this every day for my under eye circles, and under eye circles, I was going to say concealer circles, whatever. But I think both of these are great products. You can decide for yourself. I wouldn't use this under my eyes. I would go with a different product, but this is an amazing concealer, great coverage. So I'm going to go mostly save with this, but you could also splurge because I like both. Next up we have eyeshadows, and I'm going to talk about cream eyeshadows first. This one is the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, and this one is the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Barely Branded. Sort of similar colors. This one is like a matte and this one has a little bit more shimmer. This is just mostly just to give your eye like an overall clean look, but I would absolutely go with save for this one. I think this is a great product and I really love it, but you can get pretty much exactly the same thing and a wider range of things for way less money. These Maybelline Color Tattoos have been talked about so much on my channel and every guru's channel. I think everyone is in agreement that this is an amazing product, and there's no need to go out and spend tons of money on like a Benefit cream shadow. The creaseless cream shadows from Benefit are so good, but you can get the exact same thing from Maybelline, so I would absolutely say to save on this one. Okay, we're getting there now. So we have mascara now, and I have the Benefit They're Real mascara and the Maybelline The Rocket mascara, and I think this one is pretty obvious. You gotta go Drugstore. This is an amazing mascara, and it's so easy. Like pretty much all the high-end mascaras that I've tried have been so good, but it's so easy to find a drugstore mascara that is amazing. This one, the falsies, and I know there are a billion more. CoverGirl has some great ones. It's very easy to find an amazing drugstore mascara, so I would totally save. And lastly, we have lipstick. So here I have the Flower lipstick in Morning Glory, and then the Kat Von D lipstick in Celibutard, I think. Celibutard. I don't know how to say that. And for this, I'm going to have to go with save. I only grabbed this color because it's very similar in color to the Kat Von D one. They're like pretty close to each other, but honestly I don't really like the Flower lipsticks that much. I only grabbed this one because they're very similar colors to each other, but so I wouldn't necessarily recommend the Flower lipstick, but absolutely save on lipstick. It's totally not worth it to splurge on lipstick. I am such a lipstick addict. I love lipstick. Whenever I go to the drugstore, it's like the first place I go, because I just love it. I don't know why, but lipstick is just like my favorite thing ever. And I would absolutely save on it any day. First of all, you can get 10 times the amount of lipstick from the drugstore than you can from a high-end brand. It's pretty much exactly the same. Maybelline makes amazing, amazing lipsticks. Same with Revlon. I love Revlon lipsticks. Once again, you can always splurge on something, but I would absolutely save when it comes to lipstick. Whew, I feel like we went through a lot of products very quickly. I have like this giant pile of products on my floor right now, but I hope that this was helpful. I'll have all the products I listed down below, including whether I said to save and splurge, and including if I like the product or not. Like next to each product I will write whether I like it or not. Like I said before, it's completely up to you what you want to save and splurge on. This is just my own opinion and what I save and splurge on. So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys in my next video.